Welcome back. We are back into picks and bans for game number 2 between our Lotus White and CB Clockwork series here in the semifinals of the Excellency Light League. I believe we have a bit of a reverse here of the record, but it is 1 point over to Lotus White. They did win our last game in very convincing fashion here, as we are set to get into our game 2 draft. And Mr. Cal, let me know, what are you looking to see? Any kind of changes, any kind of adaptations to this draft here for these two teams?
You know, Shell, you brought up the point all throughout last series that St. Alucard has been shining on this Anivia through and through throughout this regular season, and it really did take over that game alongside the Oriana for the side of CB Clockwork. Both of these mid lane picks are really, really effective for both of them. I don't think we want to see Lotus White get access to that Anivia again. It just created too many opportunities for picks for them. Would like to see that go off the table. And I actually think that the Oriana might be potentially worse than letting them have the Nocturne, because the Nocturne would play a lot faster, and it seems like both these teams are going for a much slower approach, which was benefiting CB Clockwork very heavily until they just kind of threw the game away off the back of a couple of mechanical mistakes in a team.
Yeah, honestly, I prefer both of these teams to play a little bit more faster pace, a little more active in this series. Especially for CB Clockwork. I think that Lotus White, they're just fine to play slow. They're okay with playing these scaling picks. They are 100% cool. They counterpick themselves in order to play a composition that CB Clockwork wanted them to play. And then no strangers to playing fast paced as well. But I think CB Clockwork would be a little bit better off with a faster composition, with a comp that can make moves on the map a little bit more proactively. But it's gonna be. Wait, are we just swapping the picks here? Are we just swapping the draft from last game?
We very much could be.
Wait a second.
Lotus White definitely tried to do some disrespectful things in the previous draft by taking the Ornn last pick against CB Clockwork, who are known for playing the Ornn. The Thresh takeaway here as well puts the Nautilus on the back burner for CB Clockwork, because they don't want to play Nautilus into Thresh. It's a terrible matchup for Nautilus. Just gets hard countered. With the Braum Ezreal coming out, this means that Lotus White is free to play pretty much whatever they want in this bottom lane. We may very well see that Sivir again. We could see the Ziggs. We could see the Xayah. We could see the Aphelios for them themselves.
Yeah, so this is all about absorbing pressure and looking to scale up for the mid game for Ezreal. He does want that one item, but really the 2-item spike is really where Ezreal comes online. And as time goes on, he gets even stronger. Definitely want to see what his build looks like as we do go ahead. But yeah, going ahead and allowing this Ziggs to get pushed through. Ziggs, I'm going to say it right now, Ziggs is the strongest champion right now.
The Shen comes through, Shell.
Yeah.
Kamantako Shen is here.
You give Shen the bot side, and you give Kamantako his Shen, which he's played 1 billion games on so far. I mean, this is just I have questions. For game 1, it was Lotus White being disrespectful in the draft. Game 2, I'm not quite sure if this is disrespect or if this is just cluelessness on the side of CB Clockwork.
Okay, so Clockwork has the opportunity to make a couple answers happen here. So they're going to bring up that Morgana jungle. They've got the Braum Ezreal for their bot lane. They're going to have to blind pick either their mid lane or their top lane. I'm pretty certain they're going to give No Name that counter pick against Alucard, so they can make sure that the Ziggs is definitely going to that bottom lane. Does pair very well with the Thresh, does play well into the Ezreal Braum, but it could still move to the mid lane, and they could pick up a traditional AD carry. So that said, CB Clockwork, they're going to need to make that blind pick happen. Viego is on the table still. And Viego is really powerful in that red side blind pick for that top lane slot. Whoa. That is just, we're on full disrespect. We blind picked the Fiora.
Wait. Hold on.
Lotus White can just go ahead. So like the Fiora is going into the Shen, but like you've blind picked it in the sense that there's still the ability for the jungler to come in, and all we need to do here is lock in, let's say, the Viego or the Gragas or the Trundle, and that Fiora is going to have a nightmare against that in combination with the Shen.
This is, if not if not just disrespect, then it's just huge ego from Booty Bang and Billy. And he's no stranger
Hold
to
on,
playing
Shell.
carry picks in the mid. Wait,
I think they might be trying to set up for the Rise pick or the Zoe pick in the mid lane. If they get Zoe here, and they have the Zoe into Ziggs matchup along with Zoe Morgana and Zoe Ezreal, you actually have a great four-man composition, and you can set the Fiora up for success. Now, this is how Shen is going to be very difficult for you to actually handle as Morgana Fiora, but if you're able to get that, there we go, you have the Zoe. So if you're able to get this Fiora online, she's going to be excellent in that side lane. And Zoe Morgana, Zoe Ezreal is well known for their ability to just poke out and abuse vision. And if we look back at our last game, Lotus White was actually slacking a bit in vision compared to the norm. They were getting a lot of control wards down, but they weren't getting a lot of the normal wards down because Akshan was doing a great job of mirroring fire streaks and finding where he was putting his wards and sweeping them out. So if we're able to get Zoe and Morgana into that fog of war and throwing those bubbles, throwing those bindings, we could see a new look for CBC where they're able to play to the strength of a pick composition with a side laner rather than playing towards that straight team fighting where they just got beaten.
Yeah, this gives them a much different look, but like you said, it's very, very dependent on making sure you're playing correctly and getting this Fiora ahead. You have the comp for it. I think this is a much better comp, and I like the kind of explosiveness this comp does have. You have some pretty strong champions early. You have some ability to spread out Lotus White's composition a little bit later on. But when you're going into a Shin, this is Common Taco Shin. This isn't just any Shin. This is Common Taco Shin. It's going to be still a bit of a challenge to actually, to play well into it, because this is I honestly think that Shin is one of the most impactful champs in the game, or in the top lane at least. There's no such thing as a fair fight with a good Shin on the map. He has 2 teleports. One gives a huge shield, and he has a taunt as well. And then you have Xin Zhao and Ziggs. I mean, some of the strongest champions just going through a tier list, and Lotus White has a lot of those champions that are going to be very high on those tier lists.
So, Shell, if we're going to go to the tier lists, then I do want to bring up one point to you. Fiora has been far and away the best top laner in solo queue on this patch, and given that we are playing in Light League, solo queue stats tend to matter a little bit more than those teamwork stats. And Fiora is very good at ripping apart Shen. While it was certainly bold to pick her when the jungler hadn't been decided yet, Fiora into Shen scales very well for the side of Fiora, and Booty Bang and Billy was going crazy in the last game just in terms of his balls to the walls gameplay, while Common Taco had excellent. So if we let Common Taco play to that team fighting strength and we let Booty Bang and Billy play to the solo lane strength, there is a real world here where CBC is able to support the Fiora through the long-range Sleepy Trouble bubbles and through the long-range bindings for the Morgana. And I actually think that even in a teamfight scenario, if you get Fiora ahead enough, you put a Black Shield on her, she can rip through this team. The only threat to her is Aphelios.
Yeah, she really can. One second, look at this comp again. Yeah, the Aphelios is very strong now. I'm not really all that sure how strong Necrox is on this champion. Obviously, Aphelios is an S tier champ. Is S tier bot lane.
He's strong, Shell. He's played quite a few games of Aphelios, and they look good.
See, that's the thing though. The thing about Necrox in Light League is, yes, he was first team All Pro, but when you have guys like Fire Streaks, Common Taco, and St. Alucard, who are all some of the top players at their roles as well, sometimes Necrox's performances can be products of the other players around him. He gets really good stats, doesn't buy awards, but sometimes Necrox's stats can be a little bit misleading. I know he's watching right now, but I definitely want to see how he does play into this newer bot lane with the Action Bronson and Triple Q. Shouldn't have too bad of a time, but like you said, I'm really digging this Lotus White competition here. They have a much different plan of action in place to attack this Lotus White comp. I'm just still worried that you have Ziggs. This top half for Lotus White is so strong. We'll have to I'll get into the game. I'll get your predictions once we do get onto the Rift. We'll take a quick break to get this spectator delay counted down, and in no time at all, we'll be back on the Rift for Game 2 between Lotus White and CB Clockwork. And we are back on the Rift for game number 2 between CB Clockwork and Lotus White. Lotus White took game number 1 in this best-of-5 series in the semifinals, and we look like we might be getting into some shenanigans here, Midget Cow.
I am the smallest taco. Shenanigans indeed with the Aphelios coming on up. I don't really think they have a way to catch him unless they level up the Sleepy Trouble Bubble and he connects. Yikes. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's going wide. Can they kill the ward? That would be big. No, you canceled your auto attack, Akshan. No, buddy. You had to kill the ward there. We see the counter invade on the other side, though, and getting the ward down over on Raptors. I believe that was Ziggs' ward that was utilized. So a little bit of exchange of information. This will make the jungle pathing a bit easier for Anderson Cooper coming out in the beginning of this game. We'll know roughly that Ziggs is starting to the bottom side based on the fact that the counter invade happened. Zoe and Fiora are going to go check over onto the Raptors. So they do know that the Morgana will start the blue buff. With that, Michelle,
go ahead.
I think that this really favors Morg, right?
I think it might quite a bit because you are going to be pathing toward their Fiora, maybe make a move there as well. But that's not what my focus is at all. My focus is on No Name starting E into Ziggs. This is not going to be a very fun matchup, and you weren't even able to get that level 1 ward, so you're not going to even be level 2 on this first wave here. So starting E into this lane will not be very fun at all for No Name.
It's pretty okay to start E on Zoe. It doesn't really change a whole lot. You're not able to get those Paddle Star pokes in early on, but you usually want to conserve your mana in this matchup pretty heavily.
He just missed a minion. The game is over.
Oh my goodness, Shell! It is done! But the Morgana start's actually been very good. He did do the double camp, managed to clear up his Gromp already, and almost finished with the Wolves before Zinzao finishes the Raptors. Akshan just got bodied. Oh, he's in trouble.
He's in very big trouble. Has to blow the flash. That is huge pressure here for Necrox and Fire Streaks.
Shell, I didn't even notice this, although Smart Pants is coming in for this gank in the mid lane, so I might get cut off on this point. But Booty, oh, there he is.
It's sleeping there, but No Name does get the counter in, but nothing's going to come of that gank there in the mid lane.
Yeah, the really excellent job to get the Sleepy Trouble before the third auto comes through from Zinzao for the knockup. But Booty Bang and Billy went Conqueror Shell. Normally you see Fiora go Grasp the Undying because it's so powerful in lane. You don't need the healing or the damage from Conqueror Fiora. She just has it all in her kit already, and you're going to build it. By not going Grasp and being up against the Grasp Shen, this is actually a really unfavorable lane for the Fiora in the early game because of how favorable the trades will be for the Shen with how high his early game damage is. I'm actually a little bit worried for Billy at this point because Clementine is known to be a shining star for Lotus White.
Yeah, he really is. This is a tightrope of a selection, and like we said, it was a bit. What do we call it? You didn't call it cocky, but it was something akin to bold, ballsy to go and pick this Fiora.
Balls to the walls.
Balls to the walls, much like this Ziggs pick. But Booty Bang and Billy going for Conqueror just wants to be a menace in the mid game. Wait, hold on, Cooper. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Death sentence, and that is quite correct. Now, I'm not sure if you need to ignite their Fire Streaks, but it is going to be okay. Actually, no, you are able to go ahead and ignite there because you are going to go ahead and get that.
It denies the flash.
It does get you the flash, but you also get the 400 gold onto yourself. So a bit of greedy play from the support player. Gotta love it. Get the 400 gold, get a little bit tankier, a little bit earlier. Get your boots right.
He's gonna get his mobility boots faster, which is really important, actually. But it denied Anderson Cooper the ability to flash that wall and get away and at least force counter flashes. Being Smart Pants and Fire Streaks and not having to blow a flash in that situation means that they have a lot more potential for gank, whereas Anderson Cooper's flash is mostly reserved for defensive play in the early game, and he was unable to actually get anything out there. No Name is getting bodied in this mid lane matchup now, actually.
Yeah, No Name is pretty in a pretty rough spot. This is Ziggs, and we understand what Ziggs can do. But Zoe is a very strong champion as well, so I think that No Name will be fine as the time goes on. But yeah, down 10 CS. This is the Xin Zhao gang right here. Action Bronson is dead. You can try to get the Dark Binding off, but Black Shield off, but it's not going to happen. The Dark Binding comes through. You have the stinky pool that gets dropped, but honestly, there's not much you can do. He was caught out, and when you see Xin Zhao on the map and you don't have Flash, you are probably in a very, very rough spot. And that's a kill over to the Xin Zhao, powered by Smart Pants.
And we keep panning over to No Name and watching how bad this lane is going for them. They're getting terrible items on this Zoe. Usually you see like the redemptions coming through and you just get like 3 redemptions and you win your bottom lane for your game solo. They've gotten like Randuin's Omen, Everfrost. Like they're just not getting the items that you need on Zoe in order to actually get something rolling in your lane. And that is really hurting them in this matchup.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You like the role that RNG. I don't know if redemption is still an item, but still, I mean, there's much better items to get for this Zoe. And No Name has like just the worst pack luck. I mean, this is a gotcha game. You have to drop another 1,000 just to find it's to get yourself right back in the game. But he is still down. Actually, no, he came back up. He's about 5 CS down there. Was about 12 at one point. Anderson Cooper, though.
Oh.
Okay. Oh. See, that was a great Black Shield, but misses the Dark Binding. Let's get the Flash out of Shin. That's great. But No Name in trouble as well. Smart Pants just gets in there and does force the Flash out of No Name, but hopefully that's not too big of a deal for this Zoe as the game moves on.
But Alucard is just very, very low. I mean, No Name is really he's pushing for the ability to actually make something happen here. Usually you'd like to see yourself get a CS advantage from this kind of tempo, but I don't think that No Name has the ability to stick around and wait for that, which is a bit unfortunate for the side of CBC. Most of the gold's pretty even at this point in the game, except for that jungle difference that's come up between Anderson Cooper and Smart Pants off the back of the first blood and the secondary gank. The big thing that has happened is Booty Bang and Billy managed to pick up his Vampiric Scepter in that top lane, which has helped him stabilize that health totals and actually start building the lead against Shen in the CS. And will hopefully allow him to contain this champion and stop Stand United from just going out into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you're gonna have to try to make a move onto Common Taco because he is willing and able, and he actually is highly encouraged to make these moves across the rift to get things happening.
This is a very scary gank.
Oh, this is the Q, but yeah, no present gonna be pressed onto Fire Streaks. That could have been potentially a kill secured right there. There was no flash on that Thresh. You probably make a move there, and there's not really much of a chance for Necrox to protect his support as Elliot's here.
Shell, that was Stand United up with Shen in a bush. You need to respect that. You can't just make that play there because Fire Streaks, if he landed the death sentence and went in on it, then Shen could have immediately been coming in on the Stand United, and that would have been a 3v3 that just does not go your favor with Anderson Cooper at level 5. CBC need to be very careful of this ultimate.
And this is the thing about allowing Common Taco on that Shin. You're put in a very bad spot. It's his absolute best champion, his most played champion, and he does not underperform ever when he gets this Shin, and it's so hard. I actually hate Shin a lot. Look, going into him, he's just way too impactful on the map. If you win lane, quote unquote. Okay, why are we here? Okay, backing up, and good decision there, Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, Cloud Dragon is not something you want to go give your life up for, especially not this early in the game.
Nah.
Booty Bang Billy has started to actually put up a CS lead for himself, which is pretty great given that he was down pretty heavily in the early game. Very happy to see that from the Fiora. This is what we want this champion to do, and he's gotten that level advantage because Smart Pants had to be called up to help Common Taco shove the lane in. And Common Taco, it's now 9 minutes and we haven't seen Stand United, so that's 3 minutes that have gone by with Stand United not being utilized. That's a full ultimate that's been wasted.
Yeah, that's the thing about like talking about how you're up CS right now on the Shin. Usually, I mean, it's cool to be up CS, but usually you see Shins making moves across the rift, and whether or not they're up themselves in gold or farm, they're helping their team make moves. Oh, the double camp. I want to see how early in the clear that was. But anyway, Taco should be making some very impactful moves across the rift. So this is very, very big advantage for Booty Bang and Billy. He's kept Taco in the lane. He's not making moves across the rift. This is actually very, very big for this Fiora right now.
Yeah, especially given that Taco rushed the Ninja Tabis and is really just he needed them. He needed these plated steel caps just to stay alive at this point. The Tiamat coming through for Booty Bang and Billy, he might be the one that makes the moves first.
No chains aren't going to connect, but yeah, St. Alucard
wait, actually,
wait.
That was a terrible flash. You have cleanse. Just cleanse it, buddy. You can wait.
No. We flash here, and Smart Pants is here. Ooh. Mega Inferno Bomb comes through, and the comment, but no kill onto No Name. Does chug those corrupting pots, and gonna be able to step away there now. Oh, the Q just misses there. The present does not connect, and Triple Q just gets a Q off there. Mystic shots hitting their targets, and but seem to be a potential engagement. No. You're not Action Bronson fire streaks, or you're not Action Bronson. You can't do that.
These parries have been so clutch actually landing on the taunts, which is a difficult thing to pull off, but has not actually connected to the Shen to start a fight for Booty Bang and Billy, so the booties have not been banged yet. And I really want to call out Anderson Cooper. That was an excellent Black Shield in mid lane to save No Name. Managed to stop the knockup from the 3-talent strike while also shielding the damage from the Ziggs, which is really great timing on his part. That's what I'd want to see from the Morgana, and seeing that this early on gives me hope for the future. Smart Pants being the one to pick up the first Rift Herald this time instead of Anderson Cooper does mean that they're probably going to be able to utilize that in combination with the Ziggs satchel to hopefully take down this mid-outer turret with the pressure that Ziggs has been causing throughout this game and the fact that he has the Lost Chapter now.
Yeah, and this is really, really bad news for not just No Name, but the whole of CB Clockwork, because like you said, you can get rid of that whole first tower. And what's the biggest thing that Zoe wants? Zoe wants that first tower taken for herself so she can be unlocked onto the map, get a little bit more pressure. But if her tower goes down first into a Ziggs, I mean, you're in a very, very rough spot if you are No Name. I would highly expect to see this Herald dropped in the mid lane. But I mean, this team plays for Necrox a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. So I also want to be surprised to see that this dragon is coming to be up in about 90 seconds time. That's about when the plate's going to fall. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Necrox gets this gold here.
Well, and Shell, also, if this Herald is dropped bottom lane, between Herald and Satchel, that bottom lane tower instantly goes down, and that is first tower of the game. This is one of the big things about Ziggs is often overlooked, and what makes him so powerful is Billy Bangin is going for the Billy Bangin solo kill with the bubble.
And Cooper's here as well here. And this is just going to be a kill on the common Taco. This overstep did not respect that there could be a jungler in the vicinity, and Anderson Cooper goes ahead and gets Booty Bangin' Billy his first kill of the game here. This is big.
That booty was getting banged whether or not Anderson Cooper came in for the 2-time or not. But with 45 seconds to go on the Ocean Dragon, Anderson Cooper now doesn't have access to that Shackles of Pain on the Morgana, and the vision is being cleared out very aggressively by the side of Lotus White because they know the jungler can't be in the air in the vicinity.
That was
It was a great hook. Caught the shadow on the very tip. You can't fault the pixel perfect hook. You love to see him. But
you just type hitbox in all chat and keep
No Name.
Exhaust on
No Name. No, you can't miss that level.
But you gotta cut off the escape route. But it's all good. I mean, Freshix wasn't gonna go bot side. But we do see this Herald get dropped in the mid lane. This is gonna be this mid lane turret if St. Alucard is able to make anything happen here. And he's not, but there's 3 in the mid lane. Action Bronson, Glacial Fissure. Will we see any other? Oh no. But we do see others get stunned. Mega Inferno Bomb does go down. Action Bronson has to go ahead and protect his carry, but Fire Streaks has to flash. That was almost the most amazing counter engagement. Triple Q. Wait, there will be more. Necrox caught out. There is no one to protect you here.
Oh my goodness!
Lantern. Wait. Sleeping Patrol lands. Crimson Strike does go down, but no, you are a dead jungler. If Cooper, one more hit, one more attack. Oh no, when he gets smited and Necrox secures the kill. Wait a minute. After the fact, he has to get the kill onto Smart Pants, and now we're looking at Saint Alucard. You are a dead Yordle, but on the back end, no name secures a kill. No, Kamatako's here. Uses the Stand United as we've expected him to use this whole game. Booty Bang immediately has to teleport, but he's going to stay in the top side, going to attack this turret up there. And that's going to be a 3-for-1 for the side of CB Clockwork. Could have been much, much worse.
But the dragon isn't picked up, and if CB Clockwork doesn't reset really quickly, then this could very easily be the dragon going to the side of Lotus White, actually, which would put them on 2 Drakes, because they're going to respawn and they're just going to beeline to it.
They're sprinting to it.
They don't actually have the vision to necessarily make that happen. If that ward bottom lane sees triple cute, though, they're going to know the jig's up. And I can't quite tell if he's in vision.
I don't think he is, actually. I think he's around that corner there.
Okay, the pink ward goes down from the side of Smart Pants. They know the dragon's alive. They know that they can fight for it because hasn't been started yet. We're just going to see a repeat of the fight from before, but this side, Booty Bang Billy has his teleport up, and there's no way for Kamataku to get out of that top lane and into that bottom lane. And Anderson Cooper, Key, has the Shackles of Pain available for this fight and did not in the last fight.
So we're in a much better spot now. Necrox is pressed up here, but this ward is going to find out Action Bronson and Anderson Cooper. Let's see. Do you connect the dark? No, we do not connect on that Q. So,
Fire Streak.
Potential counter engage, but no, Fire Streak is not Action Bronson, so you're not going to be able to connect on the hook. You're just not allowed to. There's one player in this matchup who's allowed to connect on these death sentences, and you are not him. But there is very, very good positioning here from Lotus White.
They're zoned off.
Wait. Okay, we're not even gonna make a move here. Are we gonna we're just gonna pretend to position ourselves in this choke point and not make a move? Smart Pants playing with fate here. Farstrix is extremely low. And the Finisher comes down. Farstrix is dead right now. He's just dead on my screen. No, he actually lives throughout it, but the drowsy does come through onto this Zig. Saying Alucard does survive as well. So we just sit there and pretend we want to take a dragon, or at least posture for a fight, and nothing comes of it. That second dragon over to Lotus White.
All right, Shell, this is it. I have the new bans for CBC for next game. First, you ban Saint Alucard, then you ban Saint Alucard, and on the third one, you ban Saint Alucard. This man is playing out of his mind. He single-handedly shoves the entire CBC roster into that choke point by Blue Buff by utilizing the Hextech Ultimatum, the Hextech Bomb from Ziggs to force them there, and then just layers it with AoE spells, and they just can't come through to actually contest the dragon, which Smart Pants is able to solo.
Yeah, they had no way in there. They could have played a little bit more aggressively because there were some pretty iffy health bars for the side of Lotus White. As we do see the individual gold here, we do see that Necrox is about 400 up on his counterpart Triple Q, and Booty Bang Billy on the other side in the top lane is about 600 up on Common Taco. But I mean, we're in a spot where this is a huge advantage for Lotus White. They got the Dragon Stacker now. They're up 2 right now. No name. Okay, you can go ahead and not get engaged by this Thresh, but you don't have the Giga. Wait, hold up. Who's going to come from that?
Black is almost up.
Fire Streaks, you're not Action Bronson. Those death sentences, those ambitious death sentences, just are not going to connect. But Anderson Cooper's here again. He's always in the area. Ooh, great Black Shield. Oh no, what's going to happen next? I do not know, but I want to know.
That's up next week on Dragon Ball Z.
We will find out very, very soon, as we are looking at the predecessor to Gwen is immune. We have the spell immune from Anderson Cooper. We are going to go ahead and sit in a slight reverse low slate, but the Glacier Fisher comes down. Kamataku is affected, but he's going to get taunted. Oh no, Farshik is not going to die here. Action Bronson does die for his sins, but making the greatest of engages. Oh no, but Booty Bang Billy is able to secure the kill on Kamataku. He is very, very tanky. He does secure the kill. It's going to be 2 kills over Booty Bang Billy. No name is extremely low. Does have the ignite on the W, but not going to be able to make a move here. Great poke from the side of Lotus White from CB Clockwork, but not really able to super secure it, super make a move on it. 1-for-1 there in the mid lane, as Necrox says, y'all can fight in the mid. I'm going to take this tower bot side.
And it's a new look for CBC, but when you call in Booty Bang and Billy like that, and you only get the 1-for-1 on the back end of it, you're in a really dangerous position as the poke comp. If you fall behind as a poke comp, it is very difficult to actually stay in the game. And you often want to dictate the pace of the game as the poke comp by utilizing your vision and utilizing these spells. And CBC are having a really hard time finding poke before fights, and they just kind of take fights when they're handed to them. This is not beneficial to their composition, mostly because of how well St. Alucard has been utilizing this Ziggs to force them off of trying to take vision and find spots for themselves to actually poke them out.
Yeah, St. Alucard is actually, I think he was voted this way. The numbers support it, the ratings support it. The best player, top-rated player in all of Excellency Light. This man is super, super impactful. No name going for the Paddle Star, not going to be able to connect onto Fire Streaks. But this guy is, even at 0-0 and 1, he is extraordinarily impactful on the map, like you said, zoning the whole squad of CB Clockwork on that dragon, able to really control the map with his spells, and even into a competition where I think Anderson Cooper could stand to hit a few more dark bindings, but even to this competition that should be poking them out, CB Clockwork is not really finding purchase on the kind of things that the competition wants to use to accelerate themselves, but their one shining hope is one no name, but Booty Bang ability as well. 2-0. Even in CS with Kamatako, this Fiora really could become a very strong win con as the game does go on if he gets is able to play in this mid lane. But before that, we have a dragon on the map. Very, very
yeah, Shell. Billy is just being a monster this game, almost has the Divine Sunder and really wants to have it for this fight.
When he engages here, though, Necrox was caught out, but he's going to go ahead and have pop that Gale Force to get out of there. But no, we're engaging super hard into this competition, and now that's 2 down. Double kill for Necrox after almost getting poked out, and Anderson Cooper is down very low. St. Alucard flashes forward. He's going to go ahead and get the Q, and he's going to die there. Not quite sure what that was all about. That engage just get caught out, and they're just not the better team fighting team, like you said. They're just not able to poke out before they get in there, and they give their lives very, very easily.
Yeah, Shell, when you are the poke composition, you want to bait the enemy team into coming to you. Step 1 was achieved by CBC. They baited the enemy team into coming to them because Dragon was spawning in 30 seconds. But step 2 is you want to then poke them before you fight. And CBC has continuously failed at this crucial step where they activate the poke part of their poke composition. And instead they are just throwing composition at the enemy team, which is just not working out for them all that well. And Booty Banging Billy just ends up on the wrong side of history and dies for nothing.
Yeah, dies for literally nothing at all. And then you have a chance to actually catch out Necrox, which is where if you can get on to St. Alucard, okay. But Necrox is where we want to go to. But you miss your opportunity, and Kamatako Guts is able to use the St. United on top of him, gives him the shield, and Necrox gets a double kill on the back of that. That allows him to get his second item, now has Gale Force, now has Phantom Dancer. He is extraordinarily strong. I mean, he is it's going to be out of this world. And if you do get into this competition, if you do try to engage onto them, you're going to be in a world of hurt trying to get onto Necrox with the Thresh and the shielding that Kamatako has as well. I mean, this is going to be extremely, extremely difficult for the side of CB Clockwork to really make a move to get back into this game.
I mean, Lotus has come into the second game looking revitalized compared to the first game. In the first game, they just did a lot of slow, passive play, kind of feeling out what CBC was up to. Now they feel that they're in the firm driver's seat. They have 3.5 minutes till that soul point is online, and they know that they have the ability to take these fights. As Booty Bang and Billy's finding himself in a 1v1 that he could definitely win, but the Stand United is just going to be too much probably.
Yeah, it's going to be too much. He's not going to be able to outlast this. And any advantage he had before is dissipating before our very eyes, evaporating. And that's the thing about being in the side lane when it's not just Kamatako, you're not matching Kamatako. He can be anywhere at any time, and he can help out anyone, and you're not going to get through all of those shields. Fire Streaks hits the death sentence, but it's like, Intercoup says, yeah, but I have Dark Binding as well, so I guess none of us are moving. No one's going to be making a move onto anyone. We're just hitting our skill shots and making our way downtown past that. But this is just a really, really rough spot for Booty Bang and Billy. One of the strongest win cons is getting, I don't want to say neutered, but getting put in a very bad spot right now in the mid game.
He has finished the Divine Sunder. He does have that Divine Sunder plus Ravenous Hydro plus the Conqueror. It is a lot of healing to be able to win any of these 1v1s. It just takes so much time for Booty Banging Billy to actually win a 1v1 in the side lane, and no one's giving it to him.
No.
Until that happens, Shell, the poke has to stop the onslaught that Lotus White is putting up, and it's just not able to because the coordination isn't there. We just saw Anderson Cooper and Akshan Bronson come together. They landed the binding, they landed the Q from the Braum, but they're not able to do anything with the Winter's Bright and Dark Binding because where's Zoe? Where's Ezreal? They're not there. They're off farming, and this is the coordination that needs to happen in order for them to stall long enough for Billy to make those advantages happen. So,
yeah, they have to try to find a way to get him in there, and it's going to be rough because honestly, if you're not siding against the Shin, then you have to deal with that Stand United. Which I mean, there's like I said earlier, there's no such thing as a fair fight. In a fair 1v1, Booty Banging Billy has my money. I mean, I gotta say, I'm all in on Booty Banging Billy against anyone in a 1v1. But if it's not Common Taco, then he can be there in lickety split. And look at that right now. The indicator shows that Stand United is available for this Shin, and he can make a move on the map. And with Dragon spawning in about a minute's time, you don't have to really wait for Stand United because you have to fight this team very, very soon. They're on Soul Point, and you have to try to get vision, try to get positioning here in this bot side river pretty soon, or you're gonna be in a very rough spot as this poke comp.
yeah, and Shell, we got to take a moment here to actually talk about the Mountain Soul, simply because out of all the souls, Mountain Soul is probably the single worst soul to have come up against the poke composition. You acquire that, and the game ends for the poke comp because they have no way to really whittle down your health bars because of how much shielding it provides and the ability to just kind of cycle who's getting hit. Oh, no.
Rides the way, but hold up. Firestrix is in a very bad spot. He's just going to die for a sense of riding that death sentence. But Triple Q on the backside is getting 1v1 by Necrox, and Necrox kills the Ezreal. And he's just going to be able to get out of there. The teleport coming through from, I believe this is coming top from the top lane. He's coming right now. And it's now a 4v4 in the 4v5, in the mid lane. And you do not win this if you are CB Clockwork. The Dark Binding does land, but no name comes through. He gets the kill out of it. Whoa, my God. This is the Zoe damage. 2 items. That's Horizon Focus and the Luden's Tempest. I mean, this is just what happens when you have a Zoe on the squad.
Oh, season 11.
Oh, man. But doesn't matter because the Dragon's going to get started up. Can you get your way into this river? Taunt comes down, but not going to really do much here. The teleport does come down, but are you really able to make a move onto this area? Oh, no name right there. No dark stuff for no name either. That's really tough that he doesn't have dark stuff because he would be up so hard right now. Tom Taco has to go ahead and dash out of there. Smart Pants does have a chance to get back in there, but yes, very smart move of him to just give over this Drake. It's only one of the future 3 you can fight for next. Now, Tom Taco is not gonna make a move here. I know you are a very smart guy. It may not be Smart Pants, but you're smart enough to know that you're not making a move into that river brush. Fire streaks.
Oh my goodness, Shell. We talked about it behind the scenes, but this whole series is going to be decided based on how well No Name can play this Zoe, and that was phenomenal. He just single-handedly put his team back on the map with both of those picks. So, mind blown.
You know what? This whole series could ride on how these two mid laners do this in general. Saint Alucard versus No Name, the superstar of this entire league versus the sub coming in for only his second series of this split. These two guys have an amazing feel for the game, amazing feel for the tempo, and they're, I don't want to say carrying because we saw Booty Bang and Billy making some moves earlier, but they're definitely fighting extremely hard to keep their teams in this game. And Triple Q gets chunked by just one bouncing bomb from St. Alucard. Jeez.
And Shell, I know you had questions about Necrox's Aphelios coming into this game, and all I have to say is his guns were perfectly set up for that team fight between the Severum and the Chakram, and he utilized all of his Severum bullets before finishing up his Chakram in order to set up the long-range green gun alongside the short-range white gun, which then allowed for the combination for the back end of the team fight. And if it wasn't for the fact that he got one shot by No Name, who just absolutely season 11 him out of nowhere, I think he might have actually been able to carry that fight single-handedly with what he was doing on that map.
Yeah, no, I have my questions about Necrox, but at this point, it's hard to have a question about Necrox. Now, I don't think he's the best ADC in the league, but he's definitely the best AD carry in this game, in this matchup, and honestly, you really can't ban him out. He has tuning champs that he plays very, very well on. you're in a rough spot, especially since it's Aphelios Thresh. Now Action Bronson.
Oh,
okay. You're safe
that was
here,
great.
Brom.
That was really well played.
You got black shielding. Okay, I like that.
I was about to say, Shell, the wards for Lotus have been so powerful this game, and CBC needs to try and crack this ward line. And every time they come up, they end up getting shoved out. But this time, Action actually manages to tank up most of that damage.
Fire streaks?
This is just good poke. This is what I want to see. We need to see CBC do that 4, 5, 6 more times. Dragon's coming back up again in 2 minutes. Baron has been on the map this whole time. Get these wards down, move your vision forward, keep poking them out, and find those opportunities. Your Fiora is scaling up. You're doing a great job now here in this mid to late game.
Yeah, you really are. Triple Q able to get out of there, uses the he uses his abilities to go ahead and make sure he doesn't get engaged on from Common Taco. But yeah, you have a decent amount of poke. I wouldn't really call it siege. You have enough poke to get some priority in a lane and probably make some moves onto a tower. I would really like to see this mid tier 1 go down potentially before this dragon. I don't think that's going to happen for CV Clockwork. But we do see Action Bronson and Anderson Cooper making their way through this bot side river, clearing out this vision, making sure that they can get themselves some a nice little sight line. Maybe want to look at potentially getting something a little bit deeper when the squad comes through. And just gonna go ahead and check and see if that Baron's getting started. That's not going to happen. That's not what's on the cards. But you know what? This mid tier 1 is going to go down before Dragon. This is going to be huge.
No, they're pulling off.
Nope.
They want to make sure that they clear out the Baron side vision so they don't trade Baron for that Drake. Because at this point, Lotus have to actually respect CBC. The items are there that they can fight head on in a fight, or that they can poke before a fight and then fight. Ooh, Billy's starting to hit hard.
He really is, and this is Shin too, so there's going to be a 1v1. This is definitely going to be a straight 1v1. The only member with teleport on the map is the one he's fighting right now, and this is going to be good if you can do this. You can get a kill or keep him low before Dragon starts. Now, we do see CB Clockwork or Lotus White have a lot of good positioning in the river. Wait, Comtaco is very, very low right now. He is in a very rough spot, and if you're putting Billy, you have this wave right here. You just keep on attacking him, make sure you can't get in there. Hook comes through from Fire Streaks, and the Mega Inferno Bomb does come down as well from, say, Alucard. It's a good little chunker, but wow. Common Taco is not going to be able to just go straight into the Say United. He has to either back first, rejuvenate, and then use his ultimate to get in or teleport. But the pressure here from Booty Banging Billy is so strong. He has to either get his tier 2. What's up?
Booty Banging Billy is almost and Anderson Cooper is almost dead. The pressure's actually on CBC here, and I don't think they're going to be able to actually contest the dragon, and they're just going to lose it. Yeah, there's no way for them to make this happen.
I wonder if that means that Common Taco was actually hold up. The flash comes through from Smart Pants. Does get the flash right out from Anderson Cooper, who has been struggling to hit these dark bindings. And I mean, last week when they played against Redacted, Anderson Cooper had a really good game on the Morgana. I think he might have played it twice, actually. I think he only actually played it once. But he had a very good game on this Morgana. But these dark bindings have been leaving me wanting for a bit more as the Baron does get started by Lotus White here.
And this is, again, just essentially uncontestable by the side of CBC. They're all trying to run on out and over here, and No Name has the ability to throw out some Sleepy Trouble Bubbles, lay down some poke, potentially, but even that, if they actually get too close, Smart Pants and Fire Streak can turn on them, and the engagement is not something that CBC wants to take.
No, they really don't. And now this Baron's down to about 7.5k health. Whoa, oh, no. What the hell was that? No Name just jumps in, gets hooked. And this is Fire Streak saying, okay, I know I may have missed my last 18 death sentences, but I'm going to hit this one on your carry, and I'm not quite sure you can do anything at all now. This is like one of your main sources of poke. What do you do? Go for maybe you try to get in there. Wait,
Billy's going to flank, though. They're going to come in. They're going to try and fight this out, even through the Mountain Soul.
Maybe you go for the R Zonius for Anderson Cooper. Oh, wait, you get him off there. First, he has to go ahead and...
Necroc.
Necrox he's going down. He's not going down. But I mean, really, is he still kill? He doesn't kill the kill. This is excellent kiting. This is magnificent kiting from Necrox. He stays out of harm's way on 1 HP. Action Monster goes down to St. Alucard, and now the poke comp is completely cooked. It looked like Booty Billy was going to play for the squad, but he does not. Necrox survives on 1 HP, and this is just the Baron. This is the Baron for Lotus White.
Shell, that's all Mountain Soul. That's it.
Yeah.
If you want to know why Mountain Soul is really powerful, Necrox lives through that fight 100% because of Mountain Soul. And Booty Banging Billy is just scratching his head, wondering what went wrong. How did his team fall apart like this, where he just couldn't even kill the Aphelios in essentially a 1v1 with him?
Yeah, that's just very tough right there. No Name shaking. Come talk about the shoes and socks, but St. Alucard just taking the life out of Triple Q. This is what his digs can do once he gets on that 2.5 item mark. I mean, even earlier than that, honestly. 7 stacks on the Dark Seal. St. Alucard is absolutely a carry, but we cannot speak. We can't speak about how strong this Lotus White squad is without mentioning Necrox on the Aphelios. Yes, it was Mountain Soul, but there was also some crazy kiting on 1 HP where he would have died if he did not have that kind of mechanics working in his favor. So this is just honestly a masterclass of skill at this level here being shown from Lotus White.
And Lotus White they are primed to sweep this series at this point.
Yeah.
You've tried a team fighting composition into them. It didn't work. You tried playing a poke composition, and you kind of just looked lost from the side of CBC. Do they have the ability to come back into this game? Maybe. It's going to take some miracle pokes from No Name. We've seen him do it once, though, so it could happen again. But what is your option when you go into this third game, and really all you've got left is like a mid-game spiking 4-1 composition? I don't know if they can bring that out.
I'm not sure they really can here. And this is the Ziggs online 3-item Aphelios with the QSS as well. I mean, you have the clans coming up for St. Alucard very, very soon. The 4-1 is working. What it's doing is it's giving Booty Bang Billy the appearance that he's in a very good spot right now. But honestly, you're out of the fight. You really can't do anything to help your team right now. You're actually going down pretty heavily, but you're being kept out of the fight by Common Taco, and your team has nothing. Look at that, Mega Inferno Bomb has to use the heal out of Triple Q. I mean, you think you're getting an advantage on Common Taco, but you're really just out of the fight with your team, and your base is getting taken from you.
That just dead. Triple Q just wiped him out in the middle of the whole team. That was amazing.
Wow. Whoa. Wait, this could be I don't know. I think a turn. This isn't a turn or anything, but this is
that saves the Baron push. That saves the game, probably.
Yeah. That does save, I don't know the game, but it definitely does save the Baron push, and it definitely does stop this kind of pressure, stop this kind of momentum that the side of Lotus White had building for themselves, and it keeps them actually in the game. It allows them to maybe clear out some of this vision and potentially have a chance to actually fight for this Elder Drake, which is going to be on the map in 90 seconds. You have to win another fight here very, very soon.
Well, look at the vision, though, Chell. Lotus have been doing an excellent job of vision this whole game, but there's no vision by Elder Drake because they thought they were going to win the game on that push. Mm-hmm. And now there's 2 control wards on the map at Elder Dragon, and both teams are going to go meet each other to try and fight for this vision. And this is exactly what you need for CBC. You need to fire all of your skill shots from the Fog of War and just try and hit those key trouble bubbles and those key dark bindings. If they're able to find even 1 or 2 good picks before this Elder Dragon, they could have a very real fight on their hands, Shell. They have a chance now.
They actually have a huge chance, and that was all because Necrox went down. A lot of good pressure on the top side of the map, but okay, Firestreak's able to clear out this reward here.
Shell, look at what's in Triple Q's inventory. Not only did he get the Shilrildas, which he picked up before last fight, but he picked up a Specter's Cowl and a Ruby Crystal so he can try and live through St. Alucard's poke. This is pretty smart adaptation in the items here. I like that. That
is huge. And when you think about, Ezreal does like going tanky, right? But it's not always tanky in the sense of, it works, but Enzo Cooper does get hit with the death sentence, but gonna be just fine there. Nothing does happen. Nothing comes of it. Dark Binding, nothing happens at all. Smart Pants doesn't even get touched by, Two-Shot Barrage does literally nothing to Smart Pants at all with that Mountain Soul. That's just very, very discouraging.
Billy's coming from mid lane, and Kamatako is going to be stand uniting into the fight. But Alucard took a huge hit from No Name before this fight starts. we need to keep our eyes on Zoe, on No Name, and our eyes on Triple Q, because No Name finished a death cap before this fight, and Triple Q just has that triple item combination. This could be crazy.
So you're telling me our eyes should be on these two mid laners who've been absolutely smurfing. Please hit this dark binding, my guy. No Name gets triggered, and he's at 1 HP. I'm not quite sure you can actually make a move here. You might have to go back. You don't teleport. No, you can't. And the blue ward spots him out. They understand that he's still there, and really looking for a flank position, but not going to be able to find one. Spot it on the ward. Go ahead and use the bloom. Doesn't catch it out there. You're in a tough spot. Not going to be on that ward for even longer. And positioning on this other Drake is completely in Lotus White's favor right now.
No Name has a bubble queued up, and I just want to know if it hits. If Fire Streaks walked one step forward and Alucard walks one step forward, that bubble can just fly right through and hit the Ziggs, and that could be the end of the fight, because look at where Billy is. Billy is trying to come down. Oh, but it hits Fire Streak.
And the Dark Binding lands as well. Oh, he gets chunked out. He gets chunked. No Name has about a quarter, maybe a third.
Look at Taco. Taco's already on the outer turret.
He is. This is the kind of push. No Name is at 1 HP. And Mega Firm Bomb's going to be up very, very soon as well for saying Alucard. So you have to be really, really worried about an extended fight like this. And now Billy is in the mid lane fighting off this wave that's pushing. No Name has to return. He has to reset. And this is really low. There's some pretty low health bars on this side. Actually, no, not at all. Actually, you have to make a move here. No Name has to stay. Turret is getting cooked. Comes out with the inhibitor turret. Uh-oh.
They stop the damage.
Look at the flank! Oh, look at the flank! Alucard kills the Morgana. There's gonna be no jungler here, but there is a booty banging Billy whose booty does get banged quite just disgustingly. Oh, Triple Q looks for the steal, but he is gonna have to get out of there, because you are in a very bad spot to flash away, and this is just the death march here.
Two go down. Are on the inhibitor towers or on the inner towers already. Like, this is probably the game-winning push here. There's no real wave clear left.
Exactly. Right.
Zoe is alive. Zoe is alive. This could change things, because Necrox seals the fall. If he had found the bubble before Necrox sealed up, there was a chance.
Yeah, but right here, I mean, you could really just sit here and this game's over right now. This was another game where I don't want to say that this is a much more close game, but this is one where there was a few instances where the guys at CB Clockwork had an opportunity to make things happen. You had chances in guys like No Name being explosive at a certain point. Booty Banging Billy was strong in the early mid game, but Necroxing a double kill and then another starting the game off 4-1. This was just a very, very strong game from Lotus White once again.
Yeah, Shell. I mean, at this point, Lotus White, they're on series point. There is one game between Lotus White and the final, and there are 3 games for CBC. There's a lot of ground to cover. They really need to go back to their roots and go for a play style that allows them to shut down St. Alucard. I think this is going to require a roaming support and a high-pressure early game jungler. Morgana was a good attempt at that, but they weren't able to activate it well enough, and it required too many skill shots to be hit. I'd rather see you go for something like the Xin Zhao that was picked up on the opposite side, or we could see something like the Ivern come through potentially, which would allow for more access for Anderson Cooper to that mid lane and to supporting No Name to try and take the fight to St. Alucard.
Yeah, no matter what, I think you have to play to enable these mid laners. We just see that they are huge, impactful players here from both sides. But oh man, it's looking like CB Clockwork just has the number has been taken from Lotus White. They have all the answers for anything CB Clockwork might want to go to. Any kind of advantage they have in their back pocket are getting countered time after time by Lotus White, and it's just going to be a very, very tough uphill battle. Like you mentioned, you're down 0-2. You need 3 straight wins. 3 straight wins to get into finals. Lotus White just needs 1. We'll have to find out when we do come back from this break in just a moment.